What is up, BLivers? Today we're going to be talking about the 5 times of the day you are more than likely to be under hypnosis. Now you want to be sure to stick to the end, because by the end of this video we will reveal the time that you are 100% for a fact under hypnosis. And these other times it's not a hit and miss, I don't want to say that, but it does depend on the extreme ability, I guess I should say, of each step, which we'll go further in. So without further ado, if you are excited for this video, let me know in the comments. And if you are new to this channel, I am Elizabeth. Every single week I am bringing videos like this to you, so be sure to subscribe for more likewise content. All right, BLivers, so as we dive into this video, I would love to hear in the comments which one of these 5 times of the day most likely shocked you. Again, like I said, at the end, we're gonna be talking about the time that 100% no avoiding, you are under hypnosis. But I would love to know, like, which one of these are the most shocking to you, or you are kind of nervous about, so that I can create more content around it to help you with those times of the day. So starting with number one. Number one is right before lunch. And the reason why I don't say right before breakfast or right before dinner is because everyone's a little different in their eating patterns. And more than likely, after you've already gone through half of your day, you are hungry, right? And so whenever we have low blood sugar, we start to operate out of a hypnotic state because we are fatiguing our body. All that we have to do to get into a hypnotic state is an overwhelm of either the mental, emotional, or physical body. And so if we're fatiguing our body, we're low on blood sugar, we're having all of these chemical secretions having to happen to make up for the low blood sugar, it's fatiguing our body, therefore our critical mind is shutting down. So before lunch is a very common time that you are under hypnosis, and it's also via why the news likes to quote unquote put a lot of important stuff right before that, and that there's certain advertisements played specifically time after time during around noon, around times that most people eat. So that's number one. Right before lunch is when more than likely you are under hypnosis because of your low blood sugar. Number 2, now this may not happen every single day, but, and I hope it doesn't happen every single day, but it more than likely happens like once a week, if not once a month. And that's anytime you have like an emotional outburst, you're angry, you had an argument, because like I said, any way to shut down the critical mind, it just has to be through one of the bodies. So if you're have an overwhelm of emotion, whether that be because you're sad, because you're angry, you just got under an argument with someone, especially if you're arguing with someone, you're in a hypnotic state. And then that's really detrimental, because if you're in a low frequency while you're in a hypnotic state, you're taking in really shitty suggestions about yourself, and it's becoming a part of your identity. So I'm also going to link a video above and below called How to Use Emotional Intelligence to Reprogram Your Brain, because whenever you are feeling low, we obviously want to tap into our emotional genius to lift us back up, and we want to avoid any unserving programs. So anytime that you feel, like I said, this might not be every day, and if it is, please watch this video right here that I will link, so it'll help you be more fulfilled and happy throughout life. But realize that, hey, anytime that my emotions are overwhelming, it's shutting down my critical mind, and I'm operating out of hypnosis. I don't really want that, because anytime I'm in a low frequency, I'm not giving myself really good suggestions about myself that aren't going to serve me at my highest potential. So be very mindful of that. That is number 2. Number 3 is either watching TV, being glued to your laptop, or anything where there's like a blue screen that it's like in your face. And the reason being is it's because it's an overstimulation of stimuli, right? And so, like I said, I will keep repeating until it's engraved. The only way, or not the only way, but the way to shut down the critical mind is just an overstimulation. And if you're fatiguing the mind because of all these message units, whether that be light, advertisement over here, something flashing, you're taking in a lot of information, you're gonna start operating from a hypnotic state. Now, whenever you start to feel kind of like lower energy, or that you realize that, hey, I kind of just stared at the screen for a while, you're more than likely under hypnosis. And so take a break, because there's a lot of subliminals even on the internet and TV that cause you to change that cause you to shape your programming, because you're in a hypnotic state and there's all these suggestibles. So whenever you start to feel yourself spacing out, or you just realize that maybe 5 minutes went by and you didn't even realize that, take a break, do some jumping jacks, eat something, do something to get your energy levels back up, so that you can resume from a more critical mind standpoint and really finish out what you need to do without being hypnotized over anything that you're watching. So that is number 3. last two. Number 4 is anytime that you just took in a shit ton of information, whether that be from a mentor, you were reading, etc. And this is in relation to the last one. It's just because it fatigued the mind. You just took in all this information and slowly it starts to kind of like, I don't want to say deteriorate, because it's not like it's just like dying or anything like that, but it slowly starts to shut down because we are only able to take in a certain level of message units within a day, and the second we wake up it starts to go down. And the things that speed up the level of which it goes down at is like the stimulation that we give it, whether that be sound, light, information. We're not taking care of our physiology. So anytime that we just studied really hard, it's no reason, it's no shit that we feel like kind of like, oh, I just want to take a break, because you're actually operating out of hypnosis. You just used the shit out of all your message units and you kind of depleted them with all the information that you just took in. So whether that be you just read a book, you just did a bunch of studying, you just were working on something, but it was like something that it's a new skill set, so you had to like learn a lot as you're going, or you were listening to a mentor. These are times of the day that you are more than likely under hypnosis. Remember, you're not always under hypnosis whenever this happens, but you are more than likely under hypnosis. And you can tell, like I said, by watching that one video, how we become hypnotized and how to snap out of it. That video will give you a sense of how to know you're in hypnosis and when to snap out of it. So then going into the last one, number 5, this is the time of the day that we know for a fact, 100% certain, you cannot avoid it every single day. You fall into hypnosis right before you go to sleep. And this just basically has to do with brainwave activity. Whenever you are under theta brainwave frequency, you're in a hypnotic state, your critical mind is shutting down, or is shut down. And so, I mean, it's still present, but it's shut down. It's not really operating. So right before you go to sleep, you may be operating in beta frequency, but then you slowly start to drift off. So your brainwaves sleep down into alpha. And then right before you get into sleep, which you can sleep in theta frequency, but before you get into like a deep sleep, you are in hypnosis, right? You're operating from like, you're still awake, but you're just in a, I don't want to say trance-like state, but you are under hypnosis. Just to keep it simple, very short and simple, like right before you go to sleep, you are always under hypnosis, and it has to simply do with brainwave activity. So that is why I created a sleep hypnosis specifically around money and prosperity, because I know that's a subject that a lot of people struggle with. This is a time where you basically have to do no work at all other than plug your headphones in or turn the volume up on your phone and then just drift off to sleep, because everything that is, and this is something you also want to be mindful of, you don't really want to fall asleep with the TV on or any music with lyrics that you don't really want to be operating with, because you're taking in those message units and it's basically becoming a straight download of your subconscious, because you're listening to it as you're drifting off to sleep, as you're in theta frequency. So be really mindful of that. You are 100% no avoidance, always in hypnosis right before you go to sleep. So make sure your environment is set up for success, whether that be pure silence, whether that be you're listening to a pure binaural beat, or you're listening to hypnosis. Either way, turn off the TV, unless it's something that's educational or whatever, but even commercials, you want to be mindful of that. You want to guard your subconscious as much as you can, because that is what's controlling your programming 90% of your life, right? And so be very mindful of it. These are 5 times of the day that you are more than likely under hypnosis, number 5 being the for sure time. I would love to hear in the comments any questions you have over this. Again, I will link in the description a video called How We Get Into Hypnosis and How to Snap Out of It, so that whenever you are in these circumstances, you know how to snap out of it. And as always, my friends, dream big, live large, and be live. Bye.